that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
Welcome to the Tavern. We'll get to the topic and discussion in just a moment. Just want to let everybody know this is an adult show with adult topics, adult humor, and in other words, we drink, we smoke, we swear, and we laugh at things we probably shouldn't, but we do it together. For those listening to the podcast, we record the podcast on our live stream at twitch.tv/Travis Tavern Talk and have a live interactive chat audience. You might hear the sound of the bell, and that means I want to interrupt somebody to read a question or comment. For those on the live stream, we won't read off everything you put in chat, but we'll try to get to the most relevant or the most amusing, but hopefully some combination of the both. Now, while we introduce ourselves, go ahead and let us know what your vices are tonight. Okay, and I'm Travis Sivart, host of the show and author of incredible book series such as Portals and Silver and Smith. Check them out on Amazon or other fine book retailers. Phaedra Rose has already dropped it in chat that they've grabbed some Appleton's Estate Signature rum to add to their Pepsi, and I myself have some Bowman Brothers, Isaac Bowman bourbon tonight, as well as water right here in my Talk of the Tavern pint glass that you can pick up on the merch thing. Andrea, what do you got?
I'm just watching the cat and the camera. So tonight I have my knitting and tea. I made it. No alcohol.
Oh,
That's
Kitty
it.
just finished off a ginger beer. What are you knitting right now?
Me?
You're knitting yourself?
I don't know.
That's incredible.
I have no idea. Just, I don't know. We'll see what it turns out to be.
Did you see the pillow thing I sent you today? Where you can get like a pillow of your wife? And
My wife? Yeah.
They specifically said, yeah, we can make one of your wife, but not naughty stuff. We don't do that. I thought that was great. Wordwin says, black tea with African honey bush. I feel this is a great time for you to intro yourself, Ed, right after we mentioned
No comment.
Not even a honey bush?
Bowman Brothers, John J. Bowman.
Oh, very good.
Here.
Let's do our opening toast here. Hey, Mouse, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Here's to seeing past the bullshit and remembering to enjoy the small moments with the friends that matter in your life. Because fuck that shit. So that's to our tavern crew right there, guys.
Yay.
So you guys can continue dropping your comments of what your vices are tonight, and I will read them off as appropriate. Let's get to some cool stuff that I found. So, Lake Erie. We all know the Great Lakes. Can you name the 5 Great Lakes, and either of you?
Nah.
Sleepy, grumpy, dopey, doc. Am I close?
I think it's Great Sleepy, Great Grumpy.
Sneezy.
So, I know we got Lake Erie, Lake Michigan,
Lake Superior.
Superior, Ontario.
Lake Ontario? Wow, I would forget that one. And Lake Sneezy. Yeah, I think we got them. So, 18 snowmobilers. By the way, if you haven't seen this television series, Letterkenny, talking about snow, Lake Huron. Yeah.
I never remember that one.
See, and Kitty says it's Celestia, Luna, Cadence, and Twilight. Is that the Twilight series of books? I don't know what you just named, Kitty. Are those craters in the moon? Anyhow. So 18 snowmobilers, and who gets 18 people together? I guess in our area we might have 18 people doing ATVs together. I don't know.
Up north,
Yeah.
that would happen.
Yeah, it's the northern equivalent of rednecks. 18 snowmobilers?
Yes.
Snowmobilers had to be rescued from an ice floe in the middle of Lake Erie after the ledge they were riding on broke away from the bank. Now, I could click on the article and read some more, but I think we have enough information here to talk about to start. Now,
So they were floating away?
Yeah, they were on an ice shelf, and it fucking broke away and floated into the middle. Now, I'm curious. I actually want to pull up. See, Kitty says 18 snowmobilers would have to be a club. Is this like the Frozen Tundra version of a biker gang? And
Kind of.
Phaedra Rose says the people up in Michigan really love their snowmobiles. You know, what they do on their own time is their own business, and we're not going to
Well,
judge.
I used to live in Michigan. I used to live in the UP of Michigan. So yes, I concur with that statement.
Okay. I'm just imagining the leather vest they wear over their snowsuits where I can't put my arms down. Mouse says, or my family. There's a lot of us. Kitty says, one other possibility is that there's just a lot of people out on the ice. That's fair. Have either of you ever gone snowmobiling? No. Neither have I.
No.
By
Can't
the way,
afford a snowmobile.
they were spotted on the giant floating sheet of ice by the U.S. Coast Guard helicopter. And I'll drop the article into chat on Twitch, where we have our live not-so-studio audience. By the way, fun fact, this is reported by the BBC. Oh, by the way, in Ohio,
I didn't.
United States. What, Ed?
I didn't report any such thing.
Ed's got his own news channel, BBC. Yeah, buddy. I will toast to that, but I ain't touching it.
I will.
It spits. Watch out. Yeah, that's right, Andrew. Oh, see, Mouse says that she's gone snowmobiling. One of my favorite things was to be pulled behind a snowmobile on a sled. That sounds kind of awesome. Or a tube, an inner tube.
Yeah.
Okay, and Phaedra Rose says, no, I lived in Michigan for a while, but I heard enough snowmobile accident stories to make that enough. See, I would go, but just like if I ever went jet skiing or ATVing, I'd be that guy like, I'm not doing stupid shit. I'm just gonna... Now, Ed, have you ever gone like ATVing or jet skiing?
ATVing and jet skiing, yeah.
Okay, so you've done both of those. So this is the snow equivalent, I would think. By the way, how was the jet ski?
It was okay.
Just okay? Okay.
I'm not a speed person. I'd rather be sitting in my kayak floating down the rivers.
Okay, you know what? That makes sense to me, because I just said I wouldn't do anything dangerous on these things, because I would be enjoying the scenery and just going places that I get to get there quicker.
He would be going 20 miles an hour.
Only on the straightaway. Oh my God, not on the rough places.
5 miles an hour.
Okay, Mouse says, oh gosh, rescued by the puddle pirates. This is why we have the utmost respect for the Coast Guard. Yeah, really. A lot of people, you know, we like to make fun of... Wait, we make fun of the Navy guys in the Air Force. We don't actually make fun of Coast Guard, do we? Ed, you were multiple military branches.
They don't rate being made fun of.
They're yeah. We're going to go with that we don't make fun of them. Kitty says, if I were to go snowmobiling, I'd want to be the person driving, and I'd be using all the skills I learned from driving. See, Mouse, I'm that guy that never got in the rock fight when I was a kid, because I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and kids, they would go out and like literally have rock fights. Like everybody grab a pile of rocks and throw it at each other. And I'm the guy standing in the street going, "You're doing what? No. I don't want to do that." Or this is when we had metal cans for tennis balls, and you get the can opener and open the bottom and duct tape them together, crack open firecrackers, drop them in the bottom, cut a hole in the very bottom where you could put a fuse in there, and drop a potato in it and shoot that shit 300 yards at some motherfucker running down the street.
See, back then you had to be innovative. Now everything is just...
You just buy it pre-made.
We had to figure that shit out.
Okay, we don't even have jarts anymore. Lawn darts, for those that don't know what we're talking about. These are huge darts that to actually hurt somebody, you would have put effort into that shit. Like, yeah, anyhow. No, see, Kitty, by the way, Jay says, my stepdad was commander in the Coast Guard in Alaska. Kitty says, people forget about the Coast Guard being a military branch. People think of the Coast Guard as law enforcement. I don't. I recognize it as a military branch, and I respect it as such. They are the ones that protect our coast. Now, happily, they haven't been called into action very often to defend our nation. Thank goodness. But if shit got super fucking real, yeah, they're the ones there.
You have some impressive toys. I gotta admit it.
I'm sorry, Mouse. I didn't even know you needed a license to drive a snowmobile or a permit.
Yeah.
Kitty says, I got into a rock fight. Bunch of morons started throwing rocks at me, so I dove into a building site and gave back as good as I got. Yeah, and Phaedra says Coast Guard has a lot of different jobs. Pretty sure general public doesn't realize how much they actually do, and I agree with you.
They have to deal with a lot of stuff, too.
Did you really? Okay, Jay says, well, a kid in Arizona or somewhere got impaled on a lawn dart about 40 years ago. Yeah, accidents happen. Kinder eggs. What are Kinder eggs? Maria asks, are Kinder eggs still banned in the U.S. as well? What's a Kinder egg?
Never heard of it.
Okay, they had them in the UK. It's the chocolate egg with the little toy in it. I don't think they have toys in it anymore. I think it's just candy in it because people were eating the toy and choking to death.
Okay, well, this is called Darwinism. I'm just saying that. Okay, Mr. Yucky stickers annoy me. That's all I'm saying. For anybody who understands that, you understand it. So, yeah, the group were riding snowmobiles and ATVs, both on the frozen lake when the ice sheet broke away near Catawba Island. 11 members of the stranded group were rescued by the U.S. Coast Guard helicopter and airboat on Sunday. What about the other 7? Hold on.
They're still there.
They gave them like granola bars. What happened? The U.S. Coast Guard advises those planning recreational trips to the frozen lake to come properly equipped with ice picks or screwdrivers in case they fall through the ice and need to self-rescue. That's the whole article. By the way, it was a Good Samaritan who assisted the remaining 7 back to safety in a private airboat. Good for that person.
An airboat. Hey, that would have been worth it right there.
Yeah, I know. I've never been on an airboat. And growing up in South Florida with the Everglades, you can take airboat tours. And
What's an airboat? Is that the thing with a giant fan on the back of it?
It is.
That would be it.
Yeah. Or remember the hoverboats we saw when we went to UK to the Isle of Wight? Those are like super fucking airboats.
I want to go on one of those with the big fans in it and go through like the swamp tours. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, it's by the way, I remember one time before in South Florida, you had Alligator Alley. It went across from essentially Miami-ish area to Naples. Now it's I think I-76 now, but you could, before it was like this super highway, you could pull off on the side of the road in the middle of the Everglades, and it's like 2 lanes, 1 lane in each direction, and you park on the side of the road, get out of your car, and there was like this 8-foot tall chain link fence with barbed wire on top, and you could look at the swamp, and you'd be like, oh, swamp. Oh, wait, look, I see a gator. And then you're like, and there's another one, and another one, another one. And you realize in this, 100-foot space, left to right and 30 feet deep, you can count like 30 fucking gators. And that's when you're like, put the kids back in the car, honey. Just put the kids back in the car and get back in the car yourself.
Or not.
I'm going to take some pictures because I'm that guy. Kitty, I was curious about it. Kitty asked, so did they leave the snowmobiles behind? What is that noise? Mouse, thank you for those bits.
T1Nim0 us 3 cheered. X1000. Here, you will need some bug spray for airboat swamp
you will
tour.
need some bug spray for that. You definitely want some repellent here. Hold on, there's the music to follow that. You can yeet your kids over the fence. Yeet your kids over the fence. And the gator says, damn, they took my snacks. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. We're going to take a quick break so I can give you some more information, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So Maria says, oh, we're still talking about the chocolate eggs and the toys in them. So apparently Canadians are smart enough to eat the fucking chocolate, but not the toy, because Maria's up there in the Great White North there. Mine doesn't have spoons, thinking it could be a different thing. That's sad. Sounds like one of us is missing out, but I don't know who. Yeah, but here's what I'll tell you. I'm just so sad that all of our sugary sweets are now no longer made with sugar and made with what's it called?
So I just want to say the Kinder eggs over in the UK are different than the ones here. The chocolate over there is different than the ones here, like the Cadbury things, and the oranges that you smack and the chocolate oranges that you smack and they do the slices. All that is different. I tried it. It's all different.
High fructose corn syrup.
That will be it.
That's what I'm talking about. High fructose corn syrup. Yeah, Jay says Merkins are dumb enough to eat everything in the package. They'll fucking eat the package.
Well, have you seen the Tide Pod thing?
Yeah, you didn't see people in Europe eating Tide Pods. You saw Americans eating Tide Pods.
I didn't eat Tide Pods. I washed laundry with them. But why? Come on, people.
So, Ed.
Yo.
The IRS has dropped controversial plans, as in abandoned this idea, to use facial recognition technology to cut down on fraudulent tax accounts. So everybody's iPhone has this fucking option. I see people all day long pulling down their goddamn mask to log into their phone. But they're worried about the IRS using it. What's your thoughts?
How would they use it? I don't...
Basically, so they recognize your face when you're logging in. It uses the camera on your phone, the app, etc. And I have the article here. Let me drop the article in chat here so we can all look at it. And I'll pull it up myself so I can check this out and read a few more details here. Give me a second while it pulls it up. Okay, so to read a little bit of the article without watching the fucking video. It had planned to partner with an outside company that would use facial recognition to verify new accounts. It planned to use facial recognition technology developed by the company ID.me as a way to cut down on fraudulent new accounts. Privacy advocates warn that facial recognition technology is often flawed and can be biased against minorities. I didn't even realize we were going to go there.
Jesus, here we go again.
And it presents.
I can comment on that.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Because, you know, with the iPhones and the facial recognition, there has been issues where certain ethnicities, someone had a phone and they had the facial recognition and someone of the same ethnicity, ethnic
group.
Ethnic background.
Yeah. It opened when they use their face, and it's two different people, so it's kind of. So I understand the concern with that.
Okay, here's something else.
The technology was flawed.
Right. Yeah. And I'm going to take this a step further. There was people who used facial recognition and put a great ape on it, and it was recognized as a black person. So this was deemed offensive and flawed, which, not wrong in either case. Yes, Andrew?
So if I hold a saltine up to it, will it recognize me?
Flipping back to the previous thing where we talked about eating plastic, Jay says, irons, like the stuff you iron clothes with, irons in the U.S. have a warning not to iron clothes whilst you're wearing them. Yeah, because mercury.
That means somebody did it.
Somebody did it.
Mouse says the IRS using the phone cameras is a breach of personal privacy, in my opinion. My phone, when I set that up, said to be careful because people looking like me could unlock my phone. Mm-hmm. Here's a fact. People, when you're watching your little television things where they're fingerprinting people and whatnot, fingerprints are not unique. They're not. They're pretty close. You know, very few people have the same one, but there's only so many combinations. And Kitty says facial recognition is far too imperfect. I tagged images of foxes as myself in Facebook, and Face will now identify foxes as myself. Jay says darker skin is a problem with the software, and that's a big problem when law enforcement uses it to catch a suspect. And Phaedra says, I listened to a few true crime podcasts. I forget which one. But it doesn't work as well as many people assume. It's given them bad results when they've tried to use it to find people through surveillance cameras. Yeah. And Kitty says, I don't want to use facial recognition because I don't always look like myself. And that is a fair point. Yeah. When it comes to makeup, fake eyelashes, contact lens. Yeah, Andrea?
So, yes. Because if you watch Instagram or TikTok, you see people doing their makeup tutorials, and it's like, is that the same person? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, or with filters on phones nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
So, to go on with the article, biased against minorities, presents a security concern whenever a third-party company handles people's sensitive data. And then, quote, from IRS Commissioner Charles Rettig, the IRS takes taxpayer privacy and security seriously, and we understand that concerns that have been raised. Everyone should feel comfortable with how their personal information is secured, and we are quickly pursuing short-term options that do not involve facial recognition. Here's what I'm going to say. We're all unique and special, just like everybody else. That being said, we ain't so fucking unique and special that somebody else doesn't look like us, have the same fingerprint, same retinal pattern, etc. There's no perfect solution to this. But and Ed, I want to be paranoid, but there's so much shit going on, and I'm such a little fish that who the fuck cares about me? I'm not too worried about it. Kitty says some of us are more special than others. Yes, you are, Kitty. Yes, you are.
mean, if somebody wants to use my face to pay my fucking taxes, I don't have a problem with that. But pretend that they're me to pay my taxes, I don't have a problem. I don't really understand how it benefits the IRS.
I don't
what
think it's the IRS people are actually worried about. It's third parties, somebody hacking the third party, using your stuff to.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that, but I don't understand how it benefits the IRS to use it in the first place. I'm not.
As opposed to anybody could be using the name and password to log in. And that can be hacked online too, as well as anything else. I think this is more specific. Oh, Kitty says, no, they use your face to get your tax refund. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not getting a refund, so go ahead and use my face.
Yeah, exactly. Refund?
Maria says,
that?
Personally, I honestly don't care who's using my data or facial recognition. What are they going to do with it? There's a little FBI guy watching what I look up online. At least I'm keeping someone employed. There is that. Wordwind says it also means it requires people to have a phone capable of using the app. The thing is, I assume this was optional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you wanted that extra layer of security, like using your fingerprint to log into your phone, or, people can use their fingerprint instead of using a password on websites now. Yeah. Like,
is that the porn websites?
I don't know. I'll be back in a minute. I'll let you know. 3 minutes. Wait. Takes me 20 minutes to find the right video. Never mind. Let's go on with the show. Okay. Well, let's go to some good news. So, Vegas. What do you think about Vegas?
I'd like to go.
Never think about it.
Never think about it. So you think honest place or dishonest place? Full of crooks or full of good, upstanding citizens?
Both.
Fair. Andrea?
Anywhere.
Yeah.
You can ask that about anywhere.
We are so fucking moderates. We're just like, you got good people, you got criminals everywhere, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it was built by the fucking mob, so.
Well, that is true.
We don't talk about that.
Phaedra says, just don't go in the summer unless you like a lot of heat. I had a cat that used to go into heat. Kitty says, fingerprint is a bad idea. Be ready to clean your phone regularly. Yeah. Yeah, it's you don't even have to fingerprint. So there's an article I have here from The Guardian that says the Treasure Island Casino in Las Vegas tracked down a tourist who won $229,000 on the slots without knowing it, thanks to a machine error. So this casino realized there was an error, and it took them a couple of months to find the person. I'm pulling up the article here now, make sure I'm actually giving you the correct information from the article. But they followed security cameras and other things to
and use facial recognition.
Probably. This is probably true. A tourist from Arizona won $229,000 on a Las Vegas slot machine, but walked away unaware due to an error in the machine. Took him nearly 3 weeks for gaming board agents to track him down. On January 8th, Robert Taylor hit a jackpot on a slot machine at the Treasure Island Hotel and Casino on a Vegas strip. But, quote, slot machine experienced a malfunction that prevented Mr. Taylor and casino personnel from realizing that a progressive jackpot had been won. By the time an extensive review of the slot machine and the communications technology was completed, confirming the jackpot had been won, Mr. Taylor had returned home to Arizona. So they struggled, launched an investigation, included review of hours of surveillance footage across numerous properties, witness interviews, a study of electronic purchase records, analysis of rideshare data obtained by the Nevada Transportation Authority to identify the guy. I'm curious about the rideshare data. Were they like checking like Uber cameras?
Well, yeah, because sometimes they have cameras in there because drivers have gotten assaulted or killed.
Wow.
So they do that to cover their ass.
So the Nevada gambling industry has recovered since the start of the pandemic. In a report released last month, the state gaming board revealed that casinos, quote, won or earned $13.4 billion in 2021 compared to $12 billion in 2019. This represents an all-time record for gaming win, beating the previous record set in 2007, which totaled $12.8 billion. He attributed the success to vaccine rollouts.
Maria makes the point that I'm thinking. She says, proud that they did. However, I'm like 99% sure they had to legally. Yeah, if knowing the gaming commission, if a machine made an error, they were going to probably get some hellacious fine if they didn't pay that money out. That was probably going to be 4 to 5 times that amount of money.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, again, money comes into play. And yeah, Phaedra, there's cameras everywhere in those casinos. Jay says, I was banned from gambling in Lake Tahoe, but that was in 1982. They decided I was counting cards at the blackjack tables. I won maybe $2,000. So I don't know what the big deal was, but they comped our room, so that was cool. I've never been to Vegas. Andrea and I would like to go. Yeah, more for buffets and shows than gambling.
Oh, yeah. I heard buffets.
See, and
now, I'd like to go to the restaurant Pink Taco.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Wash that thing.
That's a whole nother topic. We'd just do the rest of the show on that shit. If they can, Mouse says, if they can track purchase records, they can see what rideshare charges were made. Okay, now give me just a second. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Yeah, I think you guys are right. To wrap that, what do you got, Andrea?
What?
I thought you were saying something. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it came down to they would lose more money than gain if they didn't track the person down.
So that's great publicity. That if you win and you walk away and not know it, they'll track you down. So people are like, oh, well, you know.
It is good publicity. And that alone, this is one of those things. Here's a dead horse. Hold on while I pull out this stick and beat it for a bit. But Amazon at one point in time donated a whole lot of stuff that basically they couldn't use anymore. Returns, whatnot, damaged bags of dog food, cat food, whatever. Like hundreds of thousands of dollars stuff. And they donated it all to charity during the holiday season. And everybody, I worked at Amazon at that point, and everybody's like, this is so generous of Amazon. I'm like, it's easier for them to give up $250,000 worth of damaged goods that they can't sell anyway than put $2.7 million into a PR campaign. They just got national or international news coverage for free by giving away trash. And the tax write-off. Yes, Andrew. Exactly.
And the tax write-off, yep.
So, yeah.
A smart business on their part.
It is. And they did donate it to, local shelters, blah, blah, blah. And that's great. That's great. Kitty, I don't know the actual numbers. Kitty asked, so how much had to be thrown away, though? Yeah, I don't know the actual numbers. I just know I worked in a facility where this happened. And again, yay, they donated it. Yay. On the other hand, this was a business decision. not a, hey, how can we do something nice? This was, what do we do with our trash?
But it doesn't matter whether whatever. It benefited some people too.
Right.
So there is some good out of it.
Yeah. So here's a fun article. And the picture to this article. And I'll post a link in the chat for our live folks who want to go take a look at it. So in Russia, polar bears have moved into an abandoned Russian 1930s Russian weather station decades after the Arctic outpost was left to rot. And if you click the link, it's actually fucking adorable. It's got like a goddamn polar bear looking out of the window of the fucking... Oh, it's got multiple ones. It's adorable. You know, as much as a giant killing predator can be. Which really, who doesn't find polar bears adorable? Besides maybe somebody that was mauled by one. That's fair.
They're great in the Coca-Cola commercials.
They really are, aren't they? By the way, this goddamn dailymail.co.uk. How many goddamn full-page ads can you have to break up the goddamn article?
Yep.
So,
20.
using a drone equipped with special low-noise propellers, a wildlife photographer who spent 2 years planning for his expedition was able to capture the animals who had since made the building their home without disturbing them. He said there were around 20 polar bears, most of them males, sausage fest, that could be seen that he could see walking around the abandoned building, which was built in the 1930s. On his blog, he wrote, "I always wanted to get some nice shots of polar bears, and that was the main target of our expedition. We expected to meet them mostly on Wrangel Island, famous all around the world for being home to bears. Not this year's. We found out later because of the very cold summer, but nature is always sending you something when you least expect." Sounds like they just needed a fucking windbreak. Maria says, fun fact, polar bears see humans as food. It's true.
They think they're seals, giant seals.
Yeah, really lame seals that can't swim very well. I do love these pictures, though. Yeah, can you imagine, like, oh, I'm cold, I'm tracking across the ice tundra. Here's a building. Let me go in. Ah! It's funny if you go look at the pictures. Like the whole article is actually like the blurbs for each picture. You can just read the blurbs on the pictures and get the whole article. Yeah, but polar bears never look angry, do they? Even though they really do have little teeny beady eyes. But that's kind of cool. Nothing from either of you, right? Okay.
They're smart. Nice move.
Okay. What do we got here? Let's go to this first. So, United States Postal System. Been a big money loss thing for many years, right?
Many years now.
A lot of years, if anybody's been paying attention. Well, the House of Representatives passed a sweeping bipartisan bill. They love to put that word in there. Like, look, we can work together. Both sides are idiots, but we agree on this thing. So they're finally putting some money into it to overhaul USPS, United States Postal Services, to allow it to modernize. So what we're looking at here, first of all, the Postal Service Reform Act would require retired postal employees to enroll in Medicare when eligible, while dropping a previous mandate that forced the agency to cover its healthcare costs in years in advance. In other words, some people are losing some stuff so they can.
They're losing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
Again, business-wise, smart move, but yeah, the little guy is getting screwed on this one.
Yep.
It would save the Postal Service nearly $50 billion over the next decade. Now, I'm guessing that also includes inflation and whatnot. So, what it is in 2022 terms versus 2032 terms, probably, a little different. But basically, they're replacing its old fleet with electric trucks. And I live in the country, so they're like driving personal vehicles and getting paid mileage or something like that. And it's going to the Senate now. So what do you think? Good thing?
I as much as the nostalgic part of me would like to see the Postal Service survive, I'm not so sure it can. I'm not so sure it should. Yeah.
Andrew.
Who will deliver the letters to Santa?
Email. Bill Gates.
Email, yeah.
Bill Gates got this one.
But what about when I send letters? Who's going to deliver them? I can't drive cross country. I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, okay. Now, Wordowin is throwing some reasonable stuff in chat here. Wordowin says, it's been a loss. It's been a loss because of the insanity that happened like 10 years ago. A bill was passed that forced the Postal Service to put aside billions for pensions, and they've been running at a loss because of payments. Basically, the United States Postal Service had been running at a profit, and other businesses lobbied to put a stop to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is somebody else wanted to make money, and it crippled a government agency because it's a government agency. By the way, Andrea, Jay says, I'm sure the chip Bill Gates put in our vaccine will send a letter to Santa for you. Using facial recognition, I will add. Oh, still waiting on my 5G. Okay, 5G has been slowed down, if not shut down, by multiple things. Primarily airlines saying, we used part of that. And fun fact, weather predicting services. Meteorologists are like, wait a minute, we use that bandwidth.
5G?
Yeah, it operates on certain bandwidth and whatnot, and so do certain airplane communications, and so do certain...
My phone's not that advanced.
Kitty says, I still use the mail to pay bills. I don't want to do automatic payments out to companies that might abuse that power. Yeah, Kitty, I hate automatic payments. I really, really do. Here's a fun article for you, Ed. Let's talk about this. So a California couple and their dog have been rescued after heavy snow trapped them in a cabin for almost 2 months.
Shit, I would have had another month to go.
That's what I'm saying. Now, see, Andrea and I shop. Yeah, Andrea?
Okay, so they're trapped in there with the dog. Could they not get out of the cabin so the dog could pee? Did the dog get...
Oof, that's a fair point.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, hold on. I'm just wondering if they have a pee corner. Here's the link for that in chat. So yeah, I'm just wondering, did they no, having enough food. Andrea and I, we don't live in the middle of nowhere, and if we did, we would prep differently than what we have. But at any point in time, we tend to have weeks worth of food in our house. Weeks. And that's like on bad days.
And it's not something you may want every time, but it's the essentials. Like you can live off of rice, you can live off of
beans.
Yeah, we have stuff like that, but yeah.
By the way, I'm looking at pictures here, and it says the couple had been snowed in since December 6th after downed trees and heavy snow kept them locked in. By the way, their vehicle is on top of the snow from the picture I'm seeing here, unless that's the highway patrol that drove in. So it sounds like, and you can see, like, they can get out of their house. So apparently the dog get to go out and pee.
They just couldn't get out of the area, probably.
Yeah, it sounds like more of the road was blocked than.
And this,
then that's fine.
Kitty's saying, I imagine trapped means they just couldn't drive out. I have a shared drive that's a quarter-mile long. When I get a heavy snow, I'm stuck. Right. It sounds... Due to the remote location of the cabin and to avoid blocked roads, California Highway Patrol said it deployed a helicopter to help rescue the couple and their pet. Yeah, it sounds like they were fine. Like if they hiked a couple miles... But they were flown to a landing zone.
It sounds kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm like, wait.
I mean, as long as there was like heat and plumbing.
Right.
If I had enough fuel, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right, because it's not talking about they were frostbitten and didn't have heat. None of that is in the article. They're just like,
They couldn't go anywhere.
They couldn't drive away.
Okay, can I go, please?
Yeah, I'm like, so I get a multi-month vacation without dealing with people, and maybe I have to eat, as we discussed, rice or beans a few more nights without some steak or chicken to go with it. Huh.
Who cares?
Because if you live in that area, I am willing to bet you have more than 2 canned vegetables. You buy them by the 12-pack, and you stock up 30, 40, 50 cans of this and that. See, and Wordwin says, from the article, they waited until they were low on supplies before they asked for help. They're like, hey, can you get us to Walmart and just drop us back with our supplies?
Well, doesn't Amazon deliver everywhere with their drones? You never have to leave.
Maria says it doesn't sound like they were in any real danger. I mean, unless it was turning into a Shining situation. Which is
no.
Read the book and seen the movie. Wordwin says,
little worried there.
Kitty says, I'd have just asked for delivery. Yeah, really. Yeah, I agree. This wasn't a big danger. Here's another fun article. Well, fun, relatively speaking. Working from home and enduring a boring, thank you, Andrea, Zoom meeting. A Boston woman looked out of her window at the harbor, spotted a fishing vessel sinking, then called it in. We'll be right back after this message. Is it very loud when I do that, Andrea? Anyhow. Okay, and we're back. So the crew was rescued thanks to this woman's tip that was staring out her window during a Zoom meeting where she saw this boat sinking in the harbor.
Oh, that sucks.
For her or the boat?
For them, the people in the boat.
Right, and I think that's the right attitude because I really feel like this article is like talking more about a bored woman at a meeting. Boring Zoom meeting saves lives. Yeah. Wow.
That's fun.
Wow. According to the New York Times. What's that?
That's why if you have boring Zoom meetings, you need little hands.
Apparently, she can see the ocean about 30 miles from her office window on a clear day. She noticed a plume of smoke through her window in the afternoon and thought she saw a sinking boat. She mentioned it to her co-workers and boss who shrugged it off, but she knew she had to act. 30 seconds later, the boat just vanished. She excused herself and called 911. Later found out that no one else had reported the sinking fishing boat. Without her intervention, the men aboard might have died in the icy waters.
Oh, so there were people on there.
There was. It was a fishing boat, and it sounds like a private fishing trawler type situation. And good for her. And maybe she's a busybody. What's that?
She's a hero.
Here. See, okay, I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to comment. Home security camera footage regularly makes headlines, and there are dozens of apps on the App Store to help people report, record, and navigate emergency situations. But for all that tech, the most important lesson here is the old adage, if you see something, say something. I'm gonna circle back to that in a moment. After all, without this woman, the Times reported the fisherman would have likely frozen to death before being found, if ever they were. She also said she was glad she hadn't purchased a larger desktop monitor because it would have blocked her view. Okay. I have very mixed feelings about the whole thing of if you see something, say something. My big brother paranoia really tickles at the concept of turn your fellow citizens in. Hold on. Gonna read some comments here. Jay says the woman's tip was staring out of the window. Got it. Maria says, see, boats sink. This is why I don't go on them. Or get eaten by sharks. Fishing boat equals dead fish. Sharks are already interested. Yet not even the people on the boat, they didn't have a radio on the boat. They weren't like calling in a SOS. Nobody on the boat had a cell phone. If she could fucking see it from the window. 30 miles inland.
Well, if it's sinking, maybe all the equipment got waterlogged. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Ed?
Ooh, she's a hero.
Okay. I don't know. We're running low on time here. Do we want to do out one more, or are we done? I got one more thing.
What you got?
Okay. Hold on. Kitty says, if you see something, say something. But before saying something, be sure it's something that needs reporting. Maria says, you would think there'd be an alarm they could send with GPS locator. Yeah, let me know about that, Maria. So I've got this.
Jay is saying.
Go ahead.
Jay is singing a police song.
Yeah, I recognize that.
Yeah.
Kitty says, people actually call the cops on the cops. It would have been more appropriate if Kitty had said people actually call the police on the police because of Jay singing the police song. Let me drop this next article link right here into the chat. Wait, that's the same one. Hold on, guys. I got a different link. Don't click that one. Ray, we were talking about you earlier.
Yeah, we were.
And the card that you made on the previous episode of Talk of the
Baby
Tavern.
centaurs.
Yep. Awesome work. Awesome work. So, okay. So I found an article. And by the way, I recently decided to change a few things in my diet. I decided to, because I'm looking at living healthier so I can live longer. It's really what it boils down to.
That's for sure. I want to.
You know, I'm not deleting anything out of my diet, Ed, but maybe I don't need as many grains. Maybe I don't need as much dairy. Give me a second, Kitty. It was missing one letter off of it. There's a good link. So I actually Googled how important is dairy to an adult diet. how important are grains? And the bottom line is they're not. They're unnecessary. They're not a part of our natural diet as an animal is meat and vegetables and fruits. And I'm like, oh, well, shit, I'm not losing the weight the way I'm trying to do it. Let me try to cut out these grains. Let me try to cut out this dairy, which dairy at my age gives me phlegm and whatnot and other. So I'm not saying I'm like deleting them from my diet. I'm just like, hey, let's not make this a primary thing that I try to keep in my diet daily. And fun fact, now this didn't even come in like because my phone was listening. It said, I got something for you, big guy. I heard you talking about it. Here's something. This was just in one of the newsletters I get. And it was talking about replacing a typical Western diet focused on red meat and processed foods. Ed, I know you feel me on the processed foods because you're not big on them. I'm not saying we don't like them. I'm not saying that. And when I'm not talking about giving up cheese. I'm just talking about not having it in the regular thing.
I like cheese.
And Maria, give it 20 more years. And let's see if that adding extra 10 years to your life expectancy is a difference for you. Because right now, that's what I'm looking at. I've hit 50 and I'm looking at 10 years difference if I can change my diet at this point in time. So, again, replacing a typical Western diet focused on red meat and processed food with an optimized diet can add up to 13 years to your life. By the way, that 13 years is if you're 20 and you change it then. But even at 60, changing it at 60 can add 8 to 9 years to your life. Fun fact, 8 for women, 9 for men. Figure that shit out. But, by the way, Ray says there's a lot of adults who can't process dairy. Being able to do so as an adult is kind of a modern evolution. Correct. And we all love cheese. And if you don't, you're wrong. You could be wrong. It's okay. Kitty says, my brother consumes entirely too many grain products. Can't figure out why he can't lose weight. And that's where I'm coming from, Kitty, on this. Did I put the link? Andrea, you're waving your hand. You got something?
No.
Okay. Hold on, let me grab this real quick. Phaedra says, well, I don't care if cheese adds or takes away. I love it, though I like the real cheese, not the processed stuff that tastes like plastic. Yeah, and I'm with you, Phaedra. And I'm not saying I'm giving up any of these things. I'm just saying I don't need them regularly. So what this article goes into is something called, and I'm making sure I got the right article and I'm looking at the right thing. It talks largely about, of course, a plant-based eating style could benefit even 80-year-olds, adding 3.5 years to their life at 80, which is a significant chunk at that age. Everybody's all about the cheese. But and again, let me scan the article to make sure. Yeah, but real ice cream, not the crap ice cream. Maybe this is not the article I'm talking about. I thought it was talking about the Mediterranean diet, but it still relates to the Mediterranean diet, which is including more legumes, such as beans, peas, lentils, nuts such as walnuts, almonds, pecans, pistachios, etc. And pull away from the grains and the dairy, which is something I already started. Oh, and adding fruits too.
But a grilled cheese is the best.
Okay, I'm not turning down a fucking grilled cheese. I just don't need to eat a grilled cheese or 3 grilled cheese.
Greens and dairy.
What's that?
Me? It's grains and dairy.
It is, but it's still delicious. But just don't eat 3 a day.
Great.
You know, have.
Don't tell me what to do.
One. And by the way, no, eggs are not dairy. Maria,
eggs are not dairy. Yeah.
Phaedra says, I have somehow managed to hold on to my lactose digestive abilities, though 23andMe says I should be intolerant. So I drink milk in the form of lattes, but I would give those up before cheese. So, yeah, it's, what I'm looking at is, before I read this article, I decided I'm going to try to stop eating as much rice and breads. I'm not giving it up again. I want to clarify. I'm not throwing this stuff out the door. I'm just like, let's primarily eat fruits, vegetables, nuts, and meats. And the low-fat meats, chicken, fowl, more so than any of the others. What do you think, Ed? And by the way, the reason I'm asking Ed this before, sorry to interrupt you, cut you off right after I asked, but Ed and I have gone camping. Andrea's been there with us, and he and his wife make these incredible things, which are exactly what I'm talking about. These incredible stews, and they might have red meat in them or not. So, and he does a lot of canning and stuff. So, yeah, Ed, I'm sorry, go on.
I agree. I had a friend, and I think you met her, Nicole. She's a vegetarian.
Right.
And she is slightly overweight. She has struggled with her weight. At the age of 40 years old, she's high blood pressure, and she never could understand why. And it's like, your diet consists of pasta and cheese, pasta and cheese, pasta and cheese. But I don't eat any red meat. But your diet consists of pasta and cheese.
Right. So I'm not saying I'm giving up grilled cheeses. I'm not giving up dairy and grains. I'm just limiting how much I can have because I like Andrea and I want to hang out longer. I like you guys. I want to be around longer. And at this point in time, I feel like it's not past that it's too late point.
Right.
So making these few changes, because I'm not giving up steak, but I don't need to have steak every day or every week. I can make it a special treat like ice cream. I don't know how many of you guys eat ice cream every fucking day, but I don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And what about you guys, Andrea, Ed? Have you guys just not worth giving up certain vices and pleasures to live longer? Make a noise, guys. It's a podcast.
I mean, I don't know if that's why I've given things up for other reasons.
Right. Well, we all
because of.
Go on.
Because I found I am miserable and I feel really bad, but it's certain foods that my body can't process, like raw vegetables, raw fruits, salad. Cut that out, feel so much better. That's all.
And Phaedra says, I agree. Eat what your body can manage. We can process out impurities or whatever. You just have to give it what it can handle. And Jay says, they both nod and shake their heads on the phone. Yeah, they do, Jay. That's fair. So all I'm saying is, at a certain point in time, you have to look at your vices and your lifestyle and decide, is it worth editing it to have more of that added, tacked onto the end? And you know what? If you love your vices, whether it's drinking, smoking, fucking crack, PCP, government job, whatever it is your vice is, and it's worth dying young for, and young might be 60, 70, 80, I don't know. Yes, Andrea?
But each person is different. So look at George Burns. Wasn't it 93 when he died?
101.
And he had cigars. 101. Oh, shit. And he had cigars every day, and he drank every day. It's all in. It depends on the person.
Depends on the person. Yeah.
You know, let me.
What may work for one may not work for another.
Absolutely, you got to know your own body. You got to have some fucking goddamn common sense. And also, let me say this: stress, psychology, is probably a bigger killer than red meat ever will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not saying don't consider cutting red meat or limiting it or whatever. I'm just saying, don't fucking kill yourself over somebody else's problems or your own
Gee, thanks,
problems.
Travis.
Yeah, Ed, I am so fucking looking at you right now, dude. Did you really, Ray? Ray says, I finally cut out stress and anxiety. How? Because really, this is your next $1 billion revelation here. Kitty, you might be right.
I think that answer.
Go ahead.
I think that answer is also to the individual. What may be stressful for one is not for another. So
True.
what works for one may not work for you. So you got to adjust accordingly.
That's definitely true. Jay says in Europe, they drink and smoke more than we do in the U.S. They also have a lower rate of heart disease and lung cancer. The difference is stress level. And that's very important. And that might mean stop giving a fuck. That doesn't mean treat people disrespectfully. That just means stop breaking yourself over other people's. So, anyhow, let's wrap this up. Any closing thoughts? I see Andrea grinning at something here. And then looking confused that she was grinning. Any closing thoughts, Andrea?
No. Nope.
Ed?
Yes, sir.
What's your closing thoughts?
I am stress-free.
Are you?
Sure, I gotta tell myself that.
Wait, that was sarcasm. Sorry, you gotta clue me in. Anyhow, we're gonna raise our glass to each other and not killing yourself through stress or bad habits, and enjoying moments like this with you guys here in chat, the listeners to the podcast, and really, largely, Andrea and Ed. Here's to you guys.
Thanks, guys, for hanging with us.
Thank you so much. So we're going to do the closing outro here, and you guys will catch you on the next episode of Talk of the Tavern. Before we go, I want to remind everyone that you can email us at talkofthetavernshow@gmail.com to let us know your thoughts on the show's topic, suggest another topic that you'd like to hear us discuss, or just have us read a message out on air to someone in your life. Thanks for supporting the show by downloading the podcast, sharing it on social media, grabbing some shirt stickers and mugs from bit.ly/tavern merch, or barware patches and hats from bit.ly/tavern merch 2. That's bit.ly/tavern merch or tavern merch and the number 2. Thanks to everyone who joined us live at twitch.tv/Travis Tavern Talk, and everyone who supports the tavern by subscribing, hosting, throwing bits, raids, and most of all, commenting. Thanks for joining us in the discussion shenanigans tonight. You are the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.